She saved the stranger's life, but lost her own in the process. That night, Ndoma didn't sleep. The rain fell hard on the tin roofs of Zik Avenue, washing away the noise of the city and leaving only whispers of thunder. Most people hurried home, locking their doors against the storm. But one person was still out there, walking alone. Her name was Ifunanya Adiele, a final year nursing student at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital. She had just finished a long shift, caring for patients who couldn't afford to fall sick, yet somehow still did. All she wanted was her bed, a bowl of gari, and silence. But life had other plans that night. As she climbed the slope by Ogui Junction, a black Lexus came from nowhere, speeding, swerving, spinning, before crashing into a streetlight with a scream of metal. People shouted, scattered, pulled out their phones, but none of them moved closer. Because in Ndoma, people fear what they don't understand. Only Ifunanya ran toward the wreck. She fought through the rain, pulled at the jammed door, and saw a man bleeding behind the wheel. His pulse was fading. She tore her scarf, pressed it against his wound, whispering, "Stay with me, please." His eyes flickered open for a moment, and he said something strange. "Don't let them find me." Then he went still. That sentence would change everything. When he woke up the next morning in the emergency ward, no one knew who he was. No ID, no phone, no name. He simply said, "My name is Kenechukwu," but he offered nothing more. Ifunanya kept checking on him after her shifts, changing his dressings, sneaking in food, even laughing at his dry jokes. There was something calm about him, but behind his smile, his eyes carried a storm. He said he didn't remember much of the crash. Yet every time someone in uniform walked by, he tensed. 3 days later, he vanished from the hospital without discharge papers. Ifunanya was confused until she found an envelope on his bed. Inside was a small photograph of a little girl and a note that said, "For her, I will survive." 3 nights passed. Then one evening, as the rain began again, she heard a knock on her hostel door in Abakpa. When she opened it, there he was, Kenechukwu, soaked, trembling, eyes darting like a haunted man. "They found me," he whispered. Before she could ask, headlights swept across her compound, a black SUV moving slowly past the gates. She pulled him inside. He sat on the floor, panting. When she demanded answers, he said quietly, "I used to work for a man in government house. I saw what I wasn't supposed to see." Her heart skipped. "Are they trying to kill you?" she asked. He nodded. "And now, they'll come for anyone who helps me." But she didn't turn him away. Maybe it was pity. Maybe it was fate. Or maybe, deep down, she already cared. They fled into the night, through muddy streets, across puddles, past old taxis, and closed beer parlors. Ndoma stretched endlessly before them, wet, dark, and full of secrets. As they hid under an abandoned kiosk near New Haven, Kenechukwu told her everything. He had been an accountant for a powerful politician, the kind whose handshake could buy silence. When he discovered millions of naira being stolen through fake contracts, he refused to sign the papers. A week later, his brakes failed. The crash wasn't an accident. Ifunanya listened in disbelief. She had only wanted to save a stranger, and now she was running from killers. They hid for days in an old, forgotten house near Ngo Hills, a ghost of a home with broken walls and the smell of rain in every corner. Ifunanya tended his wounds again by candlelight. He looked at her and said softly, "You shouldn't have helped me. They won't stop." She smiled weakly. "Maybe they'll stop when they see someone believes you." In that silence, something changed. 2 broken souls found peace, even if only for a moment. She saw in him the courage she wished she had. He saw in her the kindness he thought the world had lost. They talked about dreams, music, their favorite spots in Ndoma Park, Milking Hills, the smell of roasted corn by the roadside. It was as if they were 2 ordinary people again. But peace doesn't last long when powerful men want you dead. On the fourth day, Kenechukwu insisted on going into town for food. He promised to be back by evening. He never returned. Ifunanya waited. 1 hour, 2, then night fell. At midnight, headlights appeared again at the foot of the hill. A black SUV. The same one. She ran to the door, thinking it was him, but froze when she saw 4 men step out. No words, no mercy, only the metallic click of a gun. Neighbors later said they heard one scream, and then silence. By morning, the rain had washed away almost everything. Almost. Police found her body near the door cold, still clutching the photo of the little girl. They also found Kenechukwu's body a few streets away, hands tied, throat bruised. 2 lives ended in one night. But that wasn't the end. 2 weeks later, a file appeared online, a whistleblower document exposing a ₦1 billion fraud in Ndoma state account. It had all the evidence, names, dates, bank statements. No one knew who leaked it, but hidden at the bottom of one PDF was a single signature, faint but clear. I, A. Ifunanya Adiele. Somehow, before her death, she had found a way to send it out. The news went viral. Politicians denied it. People protested. And for a brief moment, truth burned brighter than power. Ifunanya didn't live to see justice. But in the end, she did something most of us never will. She stood up for someone who needed her, even when it cost her everything. She saved a stranger's life, and in the process, lost her own. Not all heroes wear uniforms. Some wear wet nursing scrubs, walk home alone in the rain, and decide to care when the world looks away. So, if you ever pass through Ndoma on a rainy night and see a nurse's scarf fluttering on Zik Avenue, don't be afraid. It's not a ghost. It's a reminder that kindness still matters, even when it kills. This is the story of Ifunanya Adiele, the woman who saved a stranger and taught us that courage sometimes wears the face of tragedy.